Hi, I'm Melissa Carpenter of Everything's Not Okay, and That's Okay. Today's vlog is sponsored by Lexington Law, and we're going to go over strategies to save for the next phase of your life. If I'm being perfectly honest, saving for a tropical vacation is much more appealing to me than saving for retirement. But if I ever want to retire, I know that I need to have enough money in order to be able to do that. So today we're going to go over several questions before we get into the strategies that you need to ask yourself to identify what that next phase is and what you're saving for so you'll be able to visualize it. The first question is, do you see yourself owning a home? And if so, what type? Is it a townhouse or condo or single family home? Would it be rural, suburban, urban? What city do you see yourself living in? Establish if this is a big purchase that you'll be making and need to save for. The second, what about a car? Do you see yourself owning a car? And if so, what type? And how much would that cost? The third is, if you have kids or thinking about kids, is saving for their college education important to you? And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just a matter of figuring out if this is a big expense they're going to be saving for. The fourth, retirement. If you're planning on retiring, what age do you plan to retire? 5, your health. How is your health? Do you have any chronic medical issues? Are you in really good shape health-wise? Do you see any big expenses in your future? So if we were going to bucket all those things into different areas for the next phase of your life, we're talking about parenting and family, health, retirement, and a big purchase. So let's get granular and figure out each one of those individually. Let's go over the big purchase first. So we're talking about a car or a home or a large purchase where you might need to take out a loan. And the loans with interest rates really vary depending on your credit score. According to Lexington Law, individuals with a high credit score, an excellent score, their rates can be 3.9%, as opposed to individuals who have a much lower score with 6%. And with interest, you're talking about additional money that you'll be paying on top of the principal of the same home. So to put it in better perspective, let's say your house is $250,000. If you have a much lower credit score, you're talking about just giving $130,000 more dollars towards that home. Not towards paying it off, that's the total cost that you'll be paying, which is much more. And that's really a lot of money. So in order to combat that, you really want to reach out and get some help and identify what your credit score is right now. So you want to pull your credit report and then pull your credit score to see where it is, gauge where you are, see where that financial health is. And if you were to take out a loan, where would you fall? The advisors at Lexington Law, they offer free consultation and will walk you through step by step to see where your credit score is and where it needs to be, so you're ready to make that big purchase. The second thing that you need to do if you're thinking about making a big purchase, because you need a lot of money in an account. So when you're talking about buying a house, oftentimes it's 20% down, and that can add up really quick. So you need to have a decent amount in the bank in order to be able to do that. So even if you were going to set money aside, and I love automatically taking money out of my account, so you can talk to your employer and have a certain amount going to your checking account and then a certain amount going to your savings account that you never touch. Even if it's $50 a paycheck or $20 a week, put some money aside. And if you just did $20 a week, you're talking about $1,000 a year that's sitting there and waiting for you to move on with that next phase. So let's talk about kids. And it's really a personal decision if you want to save for their college education or not. A great way to do that is to open a 529 plan. And this you can talk to your bank about, as they usually offer this. And this is money that goes directly into the account that's just used for educational expenses. What's great about it is you can put it in your child's name and it's in there and you're not going to touch it, so you know it will definitely go towards exactly what you're looking for. So a great way to save for that, again, is to put some money aside each month to do that. Another way too is, instead of asking for, if your family gives gifts or close friends give gifts, if they want to make contributions to your 529 account for your child, they're able to directly do that on their own, which is great. If you're not really sure and you have kids or thinking about kids, if getting a 529 plan is something you're thinking about, or even paying part of their college tuition, I highly recommend sitting down with your partner. My husband and I had several conversations about what we wanted to do with our kids' education if they decided to go to college. If we would put money aside, how much would we be paying full tuition, half, would we pay for books? Really have that open conversation with them about what you're thinking about, and go back and forth about it, because the more money you save now, the more money that your child will have towards their education when it comes time. Third is retirement. Again, it seems forever from now, but hopefully it will happen and you'll have enough money to live the lifestyle that you're hoping to live. If you have not already and you're working for a company, see if they have a matching program for their 401k. So usually your 401k is something you can enroll in as soon as you enroll in the organization, but they might not be able to match if they have it until you're vested. So it could be 3 months, 6 months, a year. Find out from them what that term looks like. You also want to see, in terms of their matching programs, what that looks like and what percentage that they'll actually be able to match you. So if you've already been in the organization and you didn't do it right away, open enrollment is another time to make adjustments and make changes. And that typically comes October, November, if you're on a calendar year, fiscal year. So again, reach out to your human resources department and ask that question. If your company doesn't have it, you're self-employed, thinking about opening an IRA or a Roth IRA, there are also retirement funds that you can do on your own. Great options. So you want to make sure that you have money and are saving. And I know it's so hard because it seems so long from now, but you want to make sure that you have enough money so you're able to retire when that time comes. The last bucket is medical expenses. When I turned 30, I had way more medical expenses than I ever thought. I had to do a few surgeries, I had physical therapy, and I really hadn't thought about it because I was usually in pretty healthy shape with a few kind of blips here and there. And it was so much money for the surgeries, for the doctor's visits post, pre-surgery. So really looking at the last few years of your medical expenses. They go up, do they go down, are they different? Are you in the right health insurance plan? Again, with open enrollment being in October, November, look at all the plans that you have, see how much you typically spend in prescription medication or going to the doctor. Make sure your plan really makes sense for where you are health-wise. And you never know when something can come up. So you want to have almost like a rainy day health fund, if you will. So just in case if something happens. A flexible spending account is also another great option. It's money that's taken directly out of your account. It's pre-tax, so you're getting more money towards your medical expenses. It's already taken out and you can just use it and you already have it. So you don't have to use the cash flow that's coming in. It's something that's already been deducted. If you haven't already, now's a great time to get a physical. Just do your physical checkup while you're doing all of this financial checkup, just to see where you are health-wise. Again, thank you so much for walking through all these different ways to save for the next phase of your life. And know it's really important, whether you're making a big purchase or having kids or thinking about retirement or health, your credit score is so important as it determines interest rates, if you're able to get other loans or credit cards or ways to save. If you're looking to save money on various expenses, getting a good credit score is really, really crucial. And the advisors at Lexington Law are there to help. I'll leave all their information below. You can get a free consultation to get started to make sure that you can get the best interest rates possible for working so hard to up your credit. Thanks again, and I hope this was helpful.